Welcome in, everybody. This is Peter Ryman, golf professional and instructor at Oyster Harbors, and this is the first of the 2023 Winter Instructional Series. I hope to put together a few more videos after this one before things warm up here. But if you haven't seen one of these before, I spill the beans. I let you know all the things that I find important in the golf swing that have helped me as a player and also as a coach. And today I'm really spilling the beans, because we're going to talk about impact. And I say that because, after you get the basics for setup out of the way, like a grip, posture, alignment, you get that squared away. Well, I like to look at impact and work my way backwards. And I say that because if you look at great players in the world, they have different swings. You got guys like Matt Wolff, not your textbook swing that you necessarily are going to copy. And then you got guys like maybe an Adam Scott, Tiger Woods, with these just beautiful looking swings with the clubs in great positions. But at impact, all these great players are going to have way more similarities than they are differences. And it's the similarities, I think, that are very important. And those are the things we need to try and copy, because if you can accomplish those, then everything else kind of falls into place. So let's walk through some of those pieces of the golf swing. I'm going to pull open an image here. So I'm going to get this a little bit closer so that you can see. Let's change this screen. And this is what I want to show you here. Okay, so hopefully you can see that okay. There, that's a little better. Now, we got 6 great players right here. Justin Thomas, Adam Scott, Tiger Woods, Jim Furyk, Dustin Johnson, and then Lee Trevino in the middle. Okay, very different golf swings, every single one of them. I think any one of us would love to hit the ball as well as those guys do, right? But they all swing it differently. But at impact, there's a lot of similarities when you look at their golf swings here. So here's what I want you to remember: head, shoulders, hips, and toes. Not knees, but hips. Head, shoulders, hips, and toes. And let's look at those features on these players. Look at their toes first. They're all very clearly on their left side. And you also might notice too that a lot of them are kind of moving up almost. They're straightening so much and moving up so much. They're using the ground to create force and to create their hit. We can't really necessarily do that the same way that they can. Justin Thomas, for example, literally comes up off the ground sometimes. But they're on their left side. That's the point. Look at their hips. Their hips are all very open. They're pointed left to the target. Look at their shoulders. Also open. Right shoulder lower than the left, and it's pointed to the left. They're not as open as the hips, but they are open. Also take a look, as we're working between hips and shoulders, look at the side bend. We'll talk about why that's important. And then the head. Okay, and I really want you to focus a little bit more over here for the head, because sometimes guys do a really good job. They can keep their head in place for quite a while post-impact, but if you're not very flexible, that's going to be very tough for you. And so more commonly, good players who have maybe physical capabilities like the rest of us, they're going to let their head drift a little bit, and you see that. You see that, Jim Furyk there. You see his head looking way past the ball. Dustin Johnson is doing it down there too. He's athletic as they come, but he's doing it too. Lee Trevino is doing it. I got another one up here because there's other great examples. David Duval, Annika Sorenstam, they all let their head drift. By the time they get to impact, their eyes are beyond the ball, already creeping towards their target. Henrik Stenson, one of the greatest ball strikers of recent 20 years. Probably the best 3-wood player I've ever seen. He hit that thing unbelievable. Took us down in a couple Ryder Cups with that. But look at his head at impact there, all the way to the side there. You can see he's looking way past where the ball was there, right? Way past it. So let's take a step back here, and let's talk about this and work on some of this. All right. So I want you, next time you're at the range, or even at your house, shoot, you can find these positions just on your own at the house, but you need to try and find something for you where your hips are open, okay? Tour players are 45 degrees roughly. Obviously different from guy to guy, but they're about 45 degrees. You may not be 45 degrees, but just get them open. Make sure they are more open than your shoulders. Shoulders should be about half of what your hips are. So find really open, kind of open. And as you do that, you go ahead and put the club in your hand. You'll notice your handle is going to move forward as they follow your shoulders. Okay? That's a really valuable thing right there. Iron ball position is generally going to be what? Kind of middle, maybe slightly forward middle. We want to hit up or down on irons. We want to hit down on irons. Your attack angle could be more down depending on club head speed. But regardless of who you are, you're going to be hitting down on an iron a little bit, so that handle needs to be a little bit forward of the ball. So a great impact position helps you achieve that. So I want you to find those positions, go to the range. Now, if you do those two things, you're going to be mad at me initially, hitting balls, because you're going to, here you are, you're going to get open with your hips, you're going to get a little open with your shoulders. Then you're going to go ahead, you're going to be, all right, I got to go find this again. You're going to make a little swing. You're going to go ahead and just get a little open with everything and then just hit the shot, and it's going to go left. And you're going to say, now, Peter, I thought you knew what you're talking about, and here I am, I'm hitting poles, and sometimes I hit a big old slice too. What the heck's going on? Well, you're hitting a big old slice because you're getting the face a little bit more open relative to what your path is doing there. And that one, I just squared my face up to my path and it went left, but it went left because I didn't have that little bit of side bend, okay, that I pointed out on the screen before. So as you work on getting open, little open here, you also need to make sure you have that little bit of side bend, and just think, get the right shoulder lower than the left. Okay, if you do that, that is what's going to keep your club face in control and on plane. Okay, if you don't, you're going to go left. And I say that, and I really, maybe it sounds like I'm focusing on that quite a bit, and it's because I am, because I think most people tend to come over the top, and they tend to hit that little bit of left or right. They lose their shot to the right all the time. Well, side bend can be very helpful. That little bit of this can be very helpful for trying to prevent that and making sure you're attacking the golf ball from an inside position. Okay? So, the idea is, I really want you to start to understand what these positions are in the golf swing, and go to the range, and then just put your body directly from setup into impact. Open things up, the way we talked about, a little bit of side bend, find it. You're going to feel like you're disassociating your lower half from your upper half, and that's a good thing. There's going to be a little bit of tension in your body as you find these positions, and that's good. Lock that in and get comfortable with that, and reset and make a little swing, and then go find it again. And just keep doing it. Keep making little swings. They don't got to be big swings, but just get comfortable with finding that impact position. I promise you, if you do that, you're going to start hitting the ball better. You're going to be a much better ball striker. It's what all the good players are doing. It's something that's what they've been doing forever. Something you should be doing too. Okay? So that's all I got. Hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully I didn't spill the beans so much that you don't want to come take a lesson from myself or one of the other golf professionals at Oyster Harbors. But if you have any questions, reach out. I mean, this is key stuff. I mean, this is something, like I said, any good player is going to do this. If you want to be a good player, you got to find these basics of impact as well. Okay? So if you got any recommendations for what you'd like me to talk about next time, feel free to reach out, drop me a note, and I'll put together another video. Otherwise, I will pick my own poison again, and I will chat about, something that I find relevant to being a great golfer. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of the week. Bye-bye.